Phew. Nice.
Hey, this is Pat with Off the Maps, and this is my commentary of Stage 3 of the MTB Trilogy in the Northern Czech Republic. Here we are just starting out with a pretty neutral position because the climbs will separate us soon. Although we weren't competing, we were still aiming to have a spirited pace, so it's advantageous to kind of push a little bit on the climbs, so once you get to the single track, you're not kind of stuck in a line. Miguel and me are decently technically capable, so we hope not to clog up the line when we get to single track. And here you can see it's starting to happen, but everybody took these routes pretty well. The day before, the routes were really wet, so it was way more difficult. But this was our first taste of trail for the day.
Nice.
And it looks like this is probably the second timed area. This one was nice, the stage, because it kind of warmed you up nicely, where the stage 2 was like really difficult all the time, so it was good to have good weather and be able to warm up. But I shouldn't speak too soon because we soon got to this point where it did get a little bit technical and difficult.
There was an outer line for this. It's nice to be able to clip in again, isn't it?
I was saying this because the conditions were so rough yesterday that our cleats both got totally filled with mud, and you know, you'd be going halfway down, try to clip in, and you can't do it, so you're stuck there and you have to walk anyway because being connected to the pedals is essential.
Just on your left, on your left. On your right. Sorry. You. Nice, nice. Oh, no.
And here I got a stick stuck in my derailleur, which just happens sometimes, but I was able to pull it out, do a little sprint over this log, hop back on the bike, and keep going.
Can I pass, please? You're right. Thank you.
And yeah, with technical trails like this, it's really good to stay clipped in and kind of continue the flow, or else it's really hard to get back on the bike and keep going. So being communicative and vocal with the other riders is really helpful.
This is a beautiful trail. Okay.
And just after one of the feed stations, there was a hornet nest right in the middle of the trail, and Miguel got stung. Maybe some of you who rode too got stung.
Yeah. The nest must have been right in the middle of the trail because they were hovering. There were like 30 there, and I just said shit, and I just rode through it. Yeah. Yeah, no, they're huge. Too much? Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes it's just too much, and when you know you have to ride for another 50k or so, it's not worth it to give it a try
You can go.
if you're feeling sketchy at all. So I kind of ran through this one, and the guy behind me actually did it, so it was kind of cool. I ran down, got out of the way, and let him bust through.
Nice, nice.
And the added benefit of that is that you have a good wheel to follow. When you can see that he technically did something that you chose not to do, it's probably a good indication that he's better than you and will choose good lines that you can follow.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
One more. Yeah, good.
Once we got through that tricky rocky section, there was just this like slick mud at the bottom, which looks super easy but was crazy sketchy because it was really fast and you could go down at any moment. So far I've only shown downhills, so let's take a look at a climb here.
Ooh.
It's 30 in your last, eh?
It's a 32.
Oh, 32. Yeah.
Can I pass, please? On the right?
And there's the guy that passed me on the downhill. This was a little bit of me showing off and maybe not the best use of energy because you pay for it later in the race, but I really like technical climbs, so I just did it.
Huh? Oh, it's doable, but not for me right now. Nice, nice.
I should mention after that climb that this race is just up or down. There's almost no flat. You're either going up a steep climb or down a steep downhill.
Nice.
With technical stuff like this. There's a few fire roads in between, but not many. And when you do hit the fire roads, it's usually kind of like a hydration time because you can actually take your hands off the handlebar, so you need to eat, you need to drink. It was super hot that day, and I think here it was especially needed because we were soon going to do the biggest climb of the day.
Top of the biggest climb of stage 3. Use the Snezhka.
Snezhka is the highest peak in the Czech Republic. That's why that view is important.
This is cool. It's like we're dropping off the side of the mountain, huh?
And this really was cool. We literally just turned left at some point and then just really felt like we dropped directly off and did this super long winding trail with tons of switchbacks and a few little drops that certainly pushed my boundaries.
Ooh. Fuck me.
Yeah, sorry for the strong words, but it's how I felt in the moment. Purely authentic. I never did a drop that big, even though it looks like nothing on camera.
Yeah?
No, no.
You want to ride it?
No.
No? Okay.
Just a little bit of proof that it wasn't just Miguel and I not wanting to ride some of this stuff, because we're usually doing more cross-country stuff. There were a lot of people walking certain bits of this.
Yeah, this is okay now.
Yeah.
Good.
And then came a drop I wasn't willing to do. I think if Miguel sent it, I probably would have followed behind him.
What is it done before?
The drop.
Yeah, no, take it. I want to. You want to stop there?
And here we get a look back. So if you look at it in comparison to him and the bike, it's probably about a meter or two. So it's a healthy drop.
And
I haven't mentioned yet how beautiful just some of the scenery is. Like you can kind of see this forest with the field to the left, and there's a lot of different places like this. So the scenery is just beautiful the entire time too. And then you just run into random surprises like this. We had no idea this was coming up.
I don't see a shit.
I don't see shit either. Just pray there's nothing there waiting for us.
And yes, a friendly cameraman at the end of the tunnel to take pictures of us in the mud.
Oh, thank you for getting me dirty at the end here. Thank you, thank you.
And here we are toward the final climb. We thought we were pretty much alone, but we did run into one last guy. I had to stop for a minute to make a phone call, but Miguel caught him on a climb, and they pushed each other, and I spent the rest of the time fighting really hard to catch up to them.
What's on? Iki.
And I knew I was getting close to the finish line. We got into the town here, and there's a really noticeable tractor on the left there. So just a little bit of asphalt, and then you kind of drop into the park. So there's a few different places where if you were with people, you could kind of sprint. This little uphill would be one of them. But once you're within about, I don't know, 200 meters of the finish line, maybe even 500, it gets really tight like this and you have to cross a few bridges. So you would definitely want to be doing most of that passing before that, because the last chance to pass just comes up right here after this bridge. You'll see there's a little bit of space, and then you're already at the finish line, and here we go.
Good job.
Good.
If you liked that video, please consider subscribing for more videos like it. And a huge thank you to the organizers and everybody who turned out at the race. It was a great time, and I think I will definitely do it next year.